I hear your fingers are getting tired. Why don't you step away from the TV? Come join me at the card table. Yeah. I'm gonna throw my pants away and run around in a diaper. I'm gonna show you a brand new game. I gather round with your so-called friends, cheesy puffs and lemonade, where the fun never ends.
Greetings, fellow humans. Today is a special day, as I want to share with you, humans and non-humans out there, a lovely card game, The Binding of Isaac 4 Souls. The Binding of Isaac 4 Souls is an Isaac-themed card game, and I would like to discuss the game's history and the things that came with the game, and how the game plays, and some fun stories, the community, and the game's current stats and future. So sit tight, because this is gonna be a long one. Also grab some snacks while you're at it, because, everyone loves, eating and watching videos, because, am I right, fellas? I hope I'm not the only one that does that. So a thing I absolutely love is tabletop gaming. From card games, to board games, to role-playing games, and even some dice games. I love tabletop gaming. I grew up playing with the classic Magic the Gathering, and some other simple games. But as I got older, I stopped playing Magic the Gathering for a few reasons. One, it was a hobby that was just too expensive. You have to buy some good cards and keep up with the meta so you could have a good chance against other people. Second, many of my old friends wouldn't play the game, and some of my new friends would play the game, but then they started taking it super competitively, and it got less fun. I will try to collect the upcoming Godzilla cards though, but that's because I like Godzilla. But anyways, back onto topic. One fateful summer, my pleas for a fun card game that my friends and I would enjoy had came to me. I remember looking at random things online because I was bored, and it's one of the things I like to do is to search up random stuff. And one of the things I looked up for was The Binding of Isaac. All I found was Edmund McMillan was teasing some upcoming Binding of Isaac game. It was going to be a multiplayer game, and it was not a battle royale, as he put it to words there. And it also could be played anywhere. Days later from that initial moment of me discovering about this new Isaac multiplayer game, I decided to check on Edmund McMillan's Twitter to find out that he has revealed this new game, The Binding of Isaac 4 Souls. An Isaac-themed card game that has a set number of cards and is easy and fun to play. That's when I found out about the Kickstarter, and also the day I decided to follow Edmund on Twitter, just so I could get some updates. I remember being stoked just to see every nook and cranny of the whole Kickstarter page. I was then looking at all the tiers for this Kickstarter campaign. The game was being made by Studio 71, who have approached Edmund McMillan before about making an Isaac-themed board game. At the time, Edmund apparently refused due to not having an idea for a board game. Then one fateful day, well, not sure it's fateful, but one day, however, Edmund was sick and was stuck inside. Bored out of his mind, he decided to make a cool card game, and he decided to make it Isaac-themed. And then it turned out the game was pretty fun and pretty good, and he proposed the idea to Studio 71, and the Studio 71 and Edmund were like, yep, this is a go-go, and then they made the Kickstarter campaign for The Binding of Isaac 4 Souls. We even got this pretty groovy Kickstarter trailer that parodies The Binding of Isaac's opening.
Edmund and his family lived in a small house on a hill. Edmund kept to himself, making video games and neglecting his wife and child. Life was simple, and they were happy. That was until the day Edmund heard a voice from inside. "You must design a Binding of Isaac-themed card game. It must be made." "I will do my best to make this," Edmund replied, rushing into the living room and scribbling down drawings on index cards. Again the voice called to him. This game must be multiplayer, encourage barter, co-op play, and betrayal. It must feature an endless array of well-known monsters and items from the video game, as well as a slew of randomly chosen playable characters, each with their own unique playstyle. I will follow your instructions. I have faith in me, Edmund replied. Feverishly, Edmund churned out a prototype of over 300 cards and started testing with his so-called friends and family. But once more the voice called to him. This game must be crowdfunded via Kickstarter and must feature tons of Binding of Isaac swag for fans. Yes, he replied, grabbing his prototype and throwing himself down into the unknown depths below.
I don't know, but I just really like the trailer for the Kickstarter campaign. I'm not sure why not people talk about it, but it's I don't know, it's pretty good, you know. I like having the idea of it parodies the opening to the Binding of Isaac, you know. Pretty good opening, you know, 10 out of 10 out there. So, like many Kickstarters, you would pledge a certain amount of money to obtain a certain tier, and each tier had a certain amount of rewards to them. So for $5 or more, you would have gotten the single tier, which I'm honestly kind of wish I made a second account just to get this tier, because supposedly there are 96 people out there that have received some digital poop as a token of the gratitude of funding this project, and I'm really curious to what that is, because I'm not sure if it ever resurfaced out there. But for let's say you just want to buy the game, you know, it would have been $25 or more, and basically it came with the Binding of Isaac 4 Souls copy, which these copies came in a nice, good box, you know. It looks like a chest, and it's pretty cool, well detailed. I do really like the design of it, and yeah, it came with the base game right there. But then later on they added extra goodies due to doing the not campaign, the stretch goals, I'll explain that part later, you know, because there was more to the Kickstarter than just you pay and then there we go, because they added some more fun goodies, which I really did enjoy a lot. Those were the golden days. The hype train, I would say. And then, I guess if you wanted to have the more complete game experience, I would have recommended the Binding of Isaac 4 Souls Plus tier. It was $35, meaning it was $10 more than the original game, but it came in a nice, shiny, clean gold trim box. Well, I mean, it wasn't real gold, but it was like shiny gold, and it looked really good. You know, I have it with me, and it's one of the, I don't know, I believe this was the best purchase to get if you only wanted the game and experience of the Binding of Isaac 4 Souls. It also came with exclusive cards within it, which also included 4 exclusive characters, which I really do enjoy playing as those characters, like the Keeper, you know. I'm glad I got them. There was other tiers out there. The more interesting ones are the ones that added some cool, you know, quote-unquote Binding of Isaac swag, as the trailer put out. There was things like Isaac's Room, which was the one I was aiming for, which was added much later due to people just wanting to have the game plus the game mat and no extra goodies. The game mat itself, top quality right there. I mean, it's like made of the same materials of many game mats, which, if you're not familiar with, are the ones made for mouse pads, but just more thick. And then so we got that, you know, on the way, you know, and I really wanted that, but I'll explain what I got later. Then there was other things like Double Trouble, which was 2 gold boxes. The Trapdoor, which came up, that was the option I was going to do before I knew about the Isaac's Room pledge. It was $75. Came with the game and with the gold box and the game mat and the exclusive t-shirt, which is pretty nice, but money wasn't looking too good for me at the moment. The tier I wish I had, but I just wasn't financially able to obtain, which I still look back about it to this day. The Hoarder Tier, which came with a lot of cool goodies right here. Was the gold box, the exclusive t-shirt, the game mats, some collectible figurines of Isaac, Maggie, Cain, and Judas, which look real nice. I will add. And then as well as an uncut sheet of 100 monster cards, which is pretty cool. And this is all groovy. I really wish I had that, but money. And then there was other things which I don't know, not too much to note worth. Like, I guess there was the custom made card in game, which was $777. That's fine, but I don't know. Apparently they're not meant to be played with. It's more like, oh, the person you looked up to made this card, which, mind you, is pretty cool. But there are some other cards that were shown from this that never see light of day, which was like Edmund's Pooh and Danielle, and yeah, those are the ones that are advertised. I hope I have a picture up on the telly for you to see, but yeah, I kind of really want to know if we ever do get those as actual cards, because they seem fine to fit in. Then there was other fun ones like the graveyard tier, which I'm not sure what's called the graveyard tier, but basically it was a tier where you would have your name, the haunted tier, I believe. It was like you would have your name headstone on on Edmund's backyard, because apparently he had some extra property which they decided to do that. And I hope I have a picture of this set up there. And yeah, there's other ones, but I feel like I don't want to name them all down, but like there's simple ones like autographs, double traps, you know, you get like twice the stuff. And then I guess the most expensive one, which I don't think no one bought, yeah, it was zero backers, the Ultra OG $10,000. There was only one of this in the whole world. The original deck of 4 souls, which was made by Index Cards. It was just a simple, generous thing to do, like if you just wanted to be that one guy that really wanted to fund the game to its prime. But Edmund didn't really want to give away his OG deck, since it's, you know, it's the first one, you know, memories. And yeah, I could see why he would do that, but yeah, I mean, no one got it, but yeah, that's pretty. I find that kind of funny to think about that was an option out there. The tier that I went with was the double trap tier, which was basically the Isaac's Room tier, but everything has doubled. It was like around $100 to $105. I don't remember exactly sure, but the important part is that it was the gold box, the game mat, but doubled. So my friend paid his half. I paid my half, of course, and it would be strange if he paid for my half, but you know, the point is, we both got the game and the game mat, and yeah, that's one of the things I'm really glad that I've owned. I don't know, I feel quite proud that I own this product, you know, the quality, everything, it's really good. I really did enjoy backing this project up. Also, there was a tier for $777 for your own custom card. It's pretty groovy because it's having you in the game, basically. I could see the value of having your favorite idol drawing you know, and their art style into the game. That's pretty groovy, I must say. And what also was groovy about the Kickstarter was the whole journey. Edmund McMillan had the whole Isaac community work on a set of challenges like cosplaying, advertising, drawing, etc. As the community did their own thing, Edmund would show off the cards that we unlocked, basically. Cards like Samson and Eve and Soul of Guppy were cards that we unlocked over time, as well as Eden. There were so many cards that weren't originally planned to be in the game, like question mark, or Blue Baby, which most people refer to that character as, was a character that was not originally planned to be in the game. So when Ed had us unlock Blue Baby, we basically had to work as a community to work on his abilities. Yeah, it's pretty groovy, I must say. There are many humans out there that are very unfamiliar that there were some ARGs, or otherwise known as alternate reality games, going on here. Edmund basically hid some card pieces around near some parks, restrooms, and even the digital world. And basically, people had to help reveal these cards and put them all together to unlock these cards. And these were guppy pieces. Not many people knew about this fact, so I decided to share it. I would do the full thing in detail, but this video is going to be long as is, and I don't feel like I should go into full detail. But, you know, at least you got some cool little pictures on the monitor. Ooh, pictures. Ooh. During the Kickstarter campaign, Edmund would have some Kickstarter live streams on Kickstarter, as the name implies. And it was pretty groovy. Basically, most of them were simply, you know, explaining how the game works, simple questions, how's the Kickstarter, cool rewards we could add, etc., etc. But these streams had a question asked by a fan, a very particular question, one that kind of started a movement. Would the lamb be in 4 souls? Edmund just replied with a no, and this sparked a movement. The Justice for the Lamb had started. There was even a Change.org petition just to get the lamb in 4 souls, which is pretty funny. And slowly but surely, Edmund had released the lamb into 4 souls, even with the best quote in the game. "I will swallow your soul," not the Bible. And as well as that, Edmund had released the card and at first with a misspelling saying Frost. But it's fine, you know, it was fixed later. And the cool thing about the lamb was it was it was drawn by Mike Burns, who also does Magic the Gathering artwork. And it's kind of cool because Edmund also did a Magic card. Not art, but designed one. And as well as that, Mike Burns also drew the Delirium card, which is also one of my favorite cards, just because Delirium is the background. I mean, he's kind of a pain to deal with in the game, but it's my favorite character of Isaac, so I don't mind. Slowly but surely, we were getting almost every single character. Then the question came up, will we get every single character? And that was pretty exciting, because slowly but surely, we got characters that weren't originally planned to be in the game. We got question mark / Blue Baby, of course. Then we had Lazarus. And then we were teased about the most newest character that's been added to the video game. And sure enough, the Forgotten made it into 4 souls. We had a everyone is here moment. And that was pretty hype, you know, because something about the idea that all the video game characters, so like let's say you have one favorite one, even if it's a niche one, just to know that they're going to be in the game is pretty exciting. Well, I mean, we're not counting transformations and secret duper characters that are not from the select screen, but the main cast, I suppose you could say. And that, honestly, was one of the most groovy moments. What was cool was the formation / the beginning of the 4 Souls community, and the influence that had within the game. At some point, the game had released a spoiler website, 4soulspoilers.com, which had all the cards at the time. So the community ported the game on Tabletop Simulator and made a quote-unquote online version of the game, which was pretty janky at first, but over time it improved. But with this tabletop version of 4 Souls, people were able to give a feedback to the game, which is pretty groovy. We managed to fix things like Godhead, which was going to be OP, and try to fix Codworm. Speaking of Codworm, this spoiler website, can you please help fix Codworm, Ed? Like, I don't know, it's kind of turned into a meme in the community now. Then again, if you do update it on the website, the meme will kind of die. A double-edged sword. Then it finally came. The game was finally released. I remember I would constantly check online to see if my order had finally made it through. And it was around mid-December, and I remember seeing that my package had made it to my local postal office. So being a bit impatient, I decided to go with my friend and go drive to get my orders. I remember opening the box and seeing my order. Me and my friend got our huge playmats, which are really fun to play on. They're pretty groovy. Also got this amazing pin, stickers, transparent sticker, which is pretty groovy, honestly. It's see-through. And then as well as that, I got a postcard that was drawn by the Cabbage Pale Kids artist, Tom Bunk. And some other cool goodies. My favorite little thing has to be the coins and the coin pouch used to store the coins. I like how one side's a pentagram, the other side's a cent sign, and it has a nice cool texture to them. now that the game has released this little story time segment, it's time to talk about the game itself. Four Souls is the official Binding of Isaac multiplayer card game about sacrifice, betrayal, and hoarding. You and up to as many characters as you want could play together, but most people go for 2 to 4 players, because if you had more than 4 people, it'll make games last much longer, which is not recommended to do. So just stick around to 2 to 4 players. Optimally, 3 to 4 is the best, but 2 players is still good. Players will play as one of many Isaac characters that is selected randomly, and you all take turns killing monsters, getting loot cards, coins, gaining or buying treasure cards to kill monsters much more easily. What's fun is that you have the people playing with you who can make it hard for you or make it easy for you to success on killing these monsters. A player could, ask you to use their ability to help them, with something like doing something like, oh, I'll just give you 5 coins if you help me do this cool thing. Or there's other people out there that'll ask for a favor and ask to have their backs, in case they come into a sticky situation. And then there are cards that just straight up end friendships. But that's normal to have in the game, right? I'm not the only one that lost my friends in Monopoly. Yeah, it's not me. It's the game. It has to be. Okay, and it's a real joy to play with friends and family. This game has both a mixture of skill and luck involved, which is pretty fun to play. The game wants you to hoard your resources, so when a big bad boss shows up, you could have a fighting chance to eviscerate this boss. Or someone could just cancel the whole fight when you're about to kill the monster, so you have to do it again. What fun! Another groovy thing is that there are some items that will help change your whole entire playstyle. Some cards are useless, some are useful, and some are game changers, while others are simply overpowered. And I'm okay with this because you're not guaranteed to counter all of these cards, so every game is practically some controlled chaos. And it's kind of like an embracement of the video game, and I like that. In many ways, the card game embraces the video game. An interesting gameplay mechanic is the bonus souls. Well, I guess I didn't mention earlier, but to win, you must obtain yourself 4 souls, just like the title. Except the title is a reference to Legend of Zelda 4 Souls, but not many people know that, so yeah. But anyways, so there's some bonus souls. They're an optional way to play the game. They add some interesting requirements to have you obtain them. The names of the bonus souls are the Soul of Guppy, the Soul of Greed, the Soul of Gluttony. And the rules state, the first player to gain 25 cents or more instantly gains the Soul of Greed. The first player to have 10 or more loot cards in their hand instantly gains the Soul of Gluttony. And the first player to have 2 or more Guppy items in their possession instantly gains the Soul of Guppy. Personally, I don't like to play with them, as it makes the table of friends to play completely different. We'll all just start taking turns gaining coins and loot cards and just not doing much to the monsters. It also makes games last much quicker, and I prefer not to have them, as they're kind of a turn-off when using it, so I just play the game normally. Groovy fact, Soul of Guppy was added to represent quote-unquote transformations, but we don't have transformations currently. We may get them in the future. Another great thing about this game has got to be the small little cool details, like the tarot cards being the official Isaac tarot cards, and we even have some lore in some of these cards. We finally get to see Isaac's mom's name and Isaac's last name as well, with the credit card. So we got, Magdalene Moriah and Isaac Moriah. I don't know if that's from the dad's side or the mom's side of the family. That's something we still don't know about. But that's still pretty cool to know. Also, I love the artwork that was done on these cards. The artwork was done by many artists like Takara, Rojan, Wormboy, Tarhead, and Crystal. And I think some more, but I hope I'm not missing anyone. I know Alex person did some cool game mats and poster stuff. And as well as that, we got, some guest artists that did The Lamb and Delirium, which is pretty groovy. I really love the arts of the monsters, some of them, because, you know, I just can't describe it, you know, it just looks like this cool, epic, gross-looking texture, and some cards have this cutesy art style, and this nice, tiers looking over here, and I really like how these artists did their own little thing. It's pretty groovy. Also, the game has, this card game specifically, has some lore to it. Sort of. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So, the lore is basically, this whole game takes place after the final ending of Isaac in Afterbirth Plus. So, Isaac is in purgatory, and his separate personalities all of a sudden became separate people, and all trying to fight each other to escape a purgatory by fighting familiar monsters and using familiar items throughout Isaac's imaginary world. And for them to escape purgatory, all they need to do is obtain 4 souls, and they're good to go. I say it's sort of canon to this series because Edmund did say that that's the lore, but it's not written down anywhere. It was more like it was stated in live streams, so it's a kind of a sequel. Both the expansion, when they came out, I got a few questions. Why are Bumbo and Guppy in purgatory? And why can only one person leave purgatory? And if Isaac 2 comes out, will that make 4 souls non-canon or a separate timeline? And why is there no Black Fly in the game? Okay, I know this is just supposed to be not a super lore-heavy game, so let's just accept the game as a fun, cool card game. Yeah. I'm not a theorist that thinks about the lore too much. This game can be pretty much extra fun if you're a fan and you're getting all these references like, oh, that's groovy that how they made this monster into a card. Like, I don't know, like Mom's Hand and Carry On Queen. Those are pretty good examples. Now that I have friends that have little to nothing about the knowledge of the video game, they actually enjoy it. It's a pretty fun game that you don't really need to play the video game to have a understanding of it. The game has a small difficulty curve at first when you start playing off, but after your first or second game it becomes very simple to understand. You may have a few moments of confusion here and there, but that should be no problem. Just remember, Edmund's nephew, who was a kid at the time, played this game when it was being developed and understood how to play the game. So if you don't know how to play this game, just remember that a little kid knows how to play his uncle's card game. The game has currently 2 expansions of the time of this recording. The first is the Kickstarter exclusive cards, which basically it's considered the first expansion because it came with exclusive 68 cards. Those 68 cards also contain characters exclusive to the whole expansion entirely, which were the Keeper, the Lost, Azazel, and Apollyon. It also has the Hush as a mega boss and some other cool cards. Overall, I say if you could find this expansion, I highly recommend owning it. A second Kickstarter is supposed to happen later on down the line, which will help people get this expansion if they missed it the first time around. A fun detail as well is that all these cards in the expansions, in this expansion in particular, have the letter K to signify they're a part of the expansion of the Kickstarter one. Overall, I'll give this one a 9.5 out of 10. Just remember, I'm a pretty generous person at rating stuff. The second expansion that came out was the Binding of Isaac 4 Souls Plus expansion. It's a little plus sign. This expansion has some fun cards like Mutant Spider, Mom's Heart as a Mega Boss, and even added my boy Dingle, which was surprisingly forgotten in the beginning. And what's cool about Mom's Heart is that the Bible card has mentioned Mom's Heart before it was in the game. This shows that this expansion was planned ahead. Now there's this one infamous character out here, you know, in this expansion, Dark Judas. Dark Judas is kind of fun to play as, and not fun to play with. Let me explain. So basically, when someone rolls a 6, they gain 3 cents. So basically, you're rewarded when someone has a really good roll. When someone dies, you gain 2 loot cards. And in this game, a lot of people die in this game. So you could start to see how Dark Judas is starting to get powerful. Now, even though I don't play with the bonus soul cards, if you do, Dark Judas could gain the Soul of Greed and the Soul of Gluttony real quickly. if I could change it, I'll probably make it where the effects is on your turn only or something, but I don't know. I don't really know how to change this character. But it's too bad that you're given a it's not that bad of Dark Judas, because most people play where they get a card at random, character card, so they're not guaranteed to have Dark Judas in your game. So it's just a once in a while thing. Also, does Guppy, the character, count towards the soul of Guppy? Probably not, but just wondering. Overall, I'll give the expansion for 4 Souls Plus a 9 out of 10, you know. It's only just a few nitpicks here and there, but overall I really prefer having these cards in my games. It helps spicing things up. The 4 Souls Plus expansion also has this elusive special edition where all the cards are foil. Normally you'll get one random foil card when you buy 4 Souls Plus expansion packs, but there are some rare versions out there where all the cards are just shiny, clean foil cards, and I really wish I could own this version of the expansion. It would make games pretty fun having cards foil, non-foil all the time, and if I were to have this foil expansion, I would use it in my games. I just wish I could have these foil cards. Did you know there's also a soundtrack for this game? Yeah, it's pretty much a pretty good jam right here. These two songs, well, some music pieces. I don't know the music world that often what to call things, but yeah. So basically we got Leisure Suit Isaac and then the 4 Souls main theme, both made by Ridiculon, and could be found in SoundCloud, which I'll put links in the description in case you want to have a good listen to them. Now, many card games out there have these promo cards. Me being a collector of many things, it's actually kind of fun to hunt these cards, you know? Just to have that elusive, complete version of 4 Souls is something that is kind of like a big dream of mine. So, in a way, this is kind of fun. It reminds me of the amiibo hunting craze. So, let me show you, not show you, but share the history of these promo cards, because some of them have some pretty exciting things to talk about. The first promo card was the Pax Bloke Card. This was a card that was made to promote the Kickstarter, and it's made with a different material than the other normal cards. It also has a link to the 4 Souls website, which was the reason why it was promote the Kickstarter. What's cool about this card is that it has the old monster card back design. Some people refer to this as the cute bloat, but I guess currently now it's going to be considered the Pax Bloat, which I'll explain later. Since the art is a cuter version of the bloat, it's the reason why it was called Cute Bloat. It's identical stat-wise to the normal bloat card, but with a cute art style, and it has the link to the 4souls.com. I remember looking around eBay for quite a while until I managed to see this card pop up for $15, and I was pretty hyped buying it. I wish I could get a second one for preservation, but at least I own one of them. Also, I play with my promo cards, and yeah, so sorry collectors are probably freaking out about the idea of that, just like the idea of playing with these cool cards. I guess the quote-unquote the real promo cards were the first real ones, because some people don't count the Pax Bloke, but I kind of do as a collector's thing. The next ones were the Target promo cards. To get this, you have to find yourself a copy of the Binding of Isaac 4 Souls Target Edition. I remember driving for one of these quite far because my quote-unquote local Target was pretty much a far place where I live. I mean, I don't mind buying this Target box because I had 200 coins at the time in my coin pouch, and buying this will help me gain 100 extra coins plus an extra set of dice and stuff. And mostly I bought this for the new Target cards. These promos were 3 treasure cards, and they're actually pretty fun game changers. They may be very strong, but I'm pretty much okay with this since it's not likely going to counter these in a normal playthrough. The next promo was the Green Champion Bloat. The green champion bloat is the third bloat. I'll just call it green bloat for short. But yeah. So basically, the Isaac, the main character, only has 2 cards, himself and the boss version, while the bloat has 3 cards. You know, we have Pax Bloke, green champion bloat, and normal bloat. Now the green bloat is pretty similar to the OG bloat, but it has slightly different mechanics on it. The text is different, so you can see right here that there's a slight difference. So the card is basically better than the cute bloat because it has, well, not cute bloat, but the Pax bloat, because it comes with some uniqueness to it. To get the green bloat, you had to order something from Studio 71, which was pretty easy to do. Less than a few months afterwards, a new promo came along. The Eden Foil promo. Well, I guess you could call this one, I mean, most people refer to this as the female Eden promo card, as Ed has referred this card as such. It's pretty cosmetic and it's pretty groovy, since it's like Dora the Explorer Eden, but it also was a promotional thing for Studio 71 and the Nicholas shop. So, Edmund McMillan is a game designer, and he designed many games, and recently, well, I say recently, but last year, 2019, Gish had turned 15 years old. So, in 2020, Gish got this cool physical edition from Limited Run Games. In this cool bundle, we get many cool things, like a physical copy of Gish, of course, you know, I like that idea, and then as well as that, some cool posters and other knickknacks, but what's cool about this bundle is 2 Gish cards. Yay! These promos actually was the thing that kind of drove me to get this bundle, but I don't know. The previous ones made me buy things that I didn't want. This one, actually, I didn't mind ordering this too much just because I like, you know, Gish, you know, and it's pretty cool to have something, you know, physical and stuff. I remember ordering this on Valentine's Day with a grin on my face. And then once I finished ordering my stuff, I just went to see the Sonic movie because, you know, that was the Valentine's thing to do of 2020. Yeah. I think I was a little bit more hyped for the poster, not gonna lie. It's a shame that I don't have a disc tray for on my computer. I mean, I guess I could use my old laptop, but I mean, yeah, I don't mind because Gish isn't that a powerful game to worry about. So, kind of wish my gaming PC has a disc slot. I have to mod that one in, but yeah, that's just that. At least the game is easy to run on many computers, and yeah, I got it on Steam, so that's cool. As of currently, there's also more promo cards. So we got an Eden male version, which was first revealed, but Edmund didn't know exactly how we would obtain it at first, as well as a tapeworm card that was slightly teased. And at first we didn't know how we're gonna get these cards, but then it all became clear in a few more months. Edmund decided to tease for this upcoming card game that he was making called Tapeworm. And during the whole situation, basically there was 2 cards, you know, that I mentioned earlier, Mel Eden and Cute Bloat 2, which are part of the Tapeworm Kickstarter promotion. All you had to do was sign up for this early access, well, not early access, but I guess a early pledge? I don't know what you refer to as, but basically sign up saying that you're gonna be part of the Kickstarter thing, and kaboom! You got, you know, a Mel Eden and Cute Bloat 2. So I guess we refer this one as normal Cute Bloat since it makes things much easier. So we call the OG one the Pax Bloke, which honestly I don't mind the release of Cute Bloat 2. I mean, I always call it Cute Bloat for now, just to make it simpler. So what's interesting about Cute Bloat is that it's slightly different abilities as well. So I guess, you know, we got 4 bloats. Wait a minute. The Binding of Isaac 4 bloats. Huh. No. Okay. That's yeah. I'm quirky now. So we got a 4th bloat, which is I don't mind releasing because honestly it would have been a shame if this art wasn't used in any other cards, and I'm kind of glad that there's a way for more people to have access towards. As well as that, we got male Eden, so we got a third Eden, which I don't mind, but now that I got a third Eden, I kind of wish we have a, well, not wish, I hope we get a fourth Eden, or maybe just a pack of cards that's just Edens, so then, like, you can have, like, you know, 4-player Eden games, which is actually pretty fun to play, you know, and I recommend trying it sometime. So, throughout the Kickstarter campaign for Tapeworm, we've been shown to us many of these cool Tapeworm cards. So we got a character card with his own starting item called Tapeworm, and this is pretty much a first, you know, because we have Eden promo cards, but those are just alternate art. This is a whole blown brand new character, exclusive to the $25 tier of the Tapeworm pink box, which honestly I think that's probably the best version of Tapeworm to get, just to get all the cool goodies and stuff. Hashtag not sponsored, by the way, but so we got these, you know, this cool character card, as well as some treasure cards, and as well as a boss card. And these are pretty cool because they introduced the egg counters, egg tokens, a Bob mechanic. So basically, you know, many cards could add, you know, an egg token thingy onto other cards, and if you have more than one of these Tapeworm cards, it could cause this cool chaotic funness to the mix. And honestly, I'm surprised that Edmund managed to introduce a whole brand new mechanic just out of the blue. I mean, I guess he is a card/game designer after all, so. Honestly, I don't know what to think about these cards because as of recording, Tapeworm has not you know, the Kickstarter has not ended, so they may have more or less cards out there. Well, not less, but might potentially have more cards. And I haven't played with these, so I can't really judge, you know, these, but I could see this as being some cool, fun things to have. Especially if you were to rig it where you're guaranteed to have these cards to pop up in the item shop and the boss stuff. Yeah, I could see myself liking these cards. So there are some backlash about these promo cards, but here's my stance. I both love and don't love them. Like, you don't need these cards to play the game, but my completion meter wants to have the complete version of 4 Souls. And it feels cool knowing that I potentially have the complete version of the game. You know, I get people who are mad, but when a promo comes out, they're promo cards. They're there for a promotion. You don't need to own the promo cards, and I know there are people who are not okay owning the promo cards, and they are personally okay with the idea of that. But I have this cool, fun, hunting urge just to obtain these cards, and I'm okay with that. Let's just hope that we might get a promo card of the old Eve card, because honestly I really like the artwork for this card. Now, I've mentioned Tabletop Simulator before, and it's quite interesting to talk about because Tabletop Simulator allows you to simulate, you know, tabletop games, of course. But with this, it allows people to play with others people, you know, online, which is pretty cool. Able to connect with the people from faraway places, you know, through 4 Souls. And what's interesting about Tabletop Simulator is that there's a large modding community out there, just like the video game. The card game has mod support, basically. It's real simple to actually mod in your own cards, you know, like, it doesn't take that much of a genius to think of, that'll be a fun idea. I guess it just depends on if you like your cards balanced or not, which it's up to your personal preference. You know, there's some meme cards out there and some very serious expansions that like to broaden the 4 Souls and even add their own mechanics like co-op or floors or challenges and stuff like that. And it's pretty fun to design your own items, monster and loot cards, you know, and even characters, and have them on, you know, Tabletop Simulator. Granted, we can do them physically, so that's kind of really hard to have them look great, I guess, physically. I mean, granted, a cool, interesting method is if you have a colored printer, you could try to basically make a card, you know, using templates and stuff, and then once you're done making the card, you could just get a color printer, print them out, cut it, and do what I do, basically, where you get the printed card, you put it inside a sleeve, and then behind that sleeve you put just any random card, like usually a Magic the Gathering card is what I use, and voila, you got them there, basically. And yeah, it's pretty fun modding, you know, the games, not the game, but the card game. And I recommend, you know, trying it out if you get a little bit bored at some point of playing too much 4 Souls. There are many expansions out there, you know, pretty fun to talk about the whole idea of this expansions and stuff. I'm pretty confident that I will make a whole separate video dedicated just to Four Souls fan expansions and custom cards individually. I've made some cards in the past. I'm mostly mediocre at best, and I usually talk to the Four Souls community for helping on wording and stuff because I'm not really good at that part. But you know, it's still fun, you know, making these cards. I really do wish I could make an official card. I don't think it would happen realistically though, but it'd be really cool just hanging out with your friends and family and pulling out the game, and during the game you say, "Hey, that's the card I worked on." You know, don't think that will happen though, sadly. If it were to happen, I'll probably do something like design Black Fly, but that's because it'll be fun and easy to do. The Four Souls community has made some, you know, fun cards out there, and it's pretty groovy. I really like this. Communities of many things, you know, it's pretty fun to be a part of, and this is one of the communities out there that I really enjoy. You can find people willing to play with you, you know, online through Tabletop Simulator, or help you explain the rules of the game, you know, when playing the game with your friends and family at home. I really hope I could see this community, you know, keep growing, because it's pretty fun, you know, being part of it. You can join the Four Souls Reddit or the Four Souls Discord server, which I highly recommend. Especially the Discord server, you know, they're pretty chill, and you can, you know, there's even a system that allows you to play Four Souls with Tabletop Simulator much easily. I will, of course, put links to those right there, so you can help, you know, hopefully have a fun time, you know, with Four Souls. Now, let me tell you what I think about the game personally. The By-Ridiculon Four Souls, I love it. It's one of my favorite card games to play with my friends, and as quoted by Ed right here, basically the game embodies the video game, which is something I could agree on. There are some fun and chaotic moments, some unfair moments at times, and even some OP broken runs. But what makes this better about this multiplayer game, it encourages barter and betrayal, and you end up making the experience 10 times as fun. Cards that force you to curse a certain player with an effect out there could cause you to have an early rival in the game, which could affect the whole game session. Asking help from a homie to protect you, or help kill a boss in exchange for coins, or simply saying, "Don't worry, man, I'll have your back in the future if you need my help. So can you please help me out here?" And stuff like this interactions is pretty fun. You know, I guess you could call it a political game out there. You know, basically trying to ask people for favors, and you know, deciding if you want to do those favors or not. Anything could happen in this game, and that's why I enjoy it. Now let me discuss about the future of this card game. The future actually seems pretty bright. There's supposed to be a new Kickstarter later after Repentance comes out, which is a big upcoming expansion for the By-Ridiculon Rebirth, which is the video game that I hope you know. They'll be kind of weird if you know the card game but not the video game, but yeah. And basically we're practically going to get Repentance-based monsters, items, and character cards, because Edmund said many times before that he can't do the Kickstarter because there'll be many Repentance spoilers in it. So, ooh, that's pretty hype to think about. And I could see myself playing this game for a very long time, and that's pretty exciting to think about. This game is overall pretty fun and enjoyable to play. The community is really great. The artwork done in this game is great from the many talented artists. The gameplay is really fun. And I just really hope that I might have encouraged you to be interested in playing this game. I'll link not myself. I'll link a website to help you basically purchase the base game from Studio 71. I hope you decide to play it and have yourself a good time. You know, I'm not sponsored. I just really want to talk about this really fun card game. Thank you, Edmund McMillan, for this fun game and many memories that this game has made with my friends. You made a game that embraces the video game while putting a fun spin to it. As a fan, I'm looking forward to what you do to the series, and as well as the community, thank you for allowing me to be part of it. It's a pretty fun way through. I want you all to have yourself a groovy day, and bye!